Welcome back to the channel. You know, the ability to acquire information is key to a self-reliant lifestyle and homestead. Be it an emergency situation or simple data sharing during an outage, ham radio, or amateur radio as it is also called, can be a valuable tool. I was introduced to ham radio by my father, who was in turn introduced to the hobby by his uncle. And I highly suggest it to anyone that is interested in self-reliance and preparedness. Now, there is federal licensing and testing involved, but there are also several levels of licensing to suit most intellects. Most training is free, and the community is very helpful in helping new applicants learn the material. Now, one way that we ham radio operators practice our skill sets is by something called contesting. Now, these events are where operators from across the world make and log as many radio contacts as possible. These contacts are generally short, with the operator sharing basic information like call sign, location, and type of system used. These events occur in the high frequency range, so they enable operators to cover very far and vast distances. Another way is by participating in events sponsored by the Amateur Radio Emergency Service. The Amateur Radio Emergency Service, or ARES, consists of licensed amateurs who have voluntarily registered their qualifications and equipment with their local's ARES leadership for communications duty in the public service when disaster strikes. Now, I have two local VHF repeaters within my listening range that represent two separate county ARESnet groups. Both of these groups pick one night every week, Tuesdays for one county and Wednesdays for another, to test the wide area volunteer radio network. Now, these nets are open to any licensed ham in listening range and offer an opportunity to test two-way communications using repeater technology. Now, this happens on the 2-meter band, and each county ARESnet group has their own way of managing radio traffic on the net. I recently purchased a new 4-band radio, so I decided to use it and an antenna I made from half-inch copper pipe to use as my net check-in radio. Now, this kind of antenna configuration is called a Slim Jim, and ham radio nerds came up with the term homebrew for anything an experimenter made themselves. Now, I personally think that this term homebrew predates the do-it-yourself or DIY phrase, but I can't be certain about that. Now, right now, this mounting is temporary, but so far it works like a charm. So here are some examples of weekly ARESnet radio check-ins and their differences.
CQNet, CQNet, CQNet. This is Whiskey 9 India Foxtrot Whiskey, activating the Marion County Amateur Radio Emergency Service net. Wait one, we got some interference. This is W9IFW for the net control for the weekly ARESnet, and my name operator is Norm. Stations with emergency or priority traffic may interrupt this net at any time. This net meets every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. local time on the W9IRA 146.700 repeater in order to pass formal or informal traffic, test our equipment, practice our operating skills, and learn how to properly check into a net. It also allows the local amateur community the opportunity to exchange news and information about ham radio. Membership in any group is not required for participation, and all check-ins are welcome. When you check into the net this evening, please indicate whether or not you have traffic or announcements. Remember, this is a directed net, and all traffic should be routed through net control. Do we have an alternate net control for this session? Net control, W9NES, I'll run with you tonight. W9NES, very good, thank you for volunteering. If this repeater fails, we will use a 147.120 repeater as backup.
CQNet. This is the Hendricks County ARESnet. This net is held every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. on the 147.015 megahertz repeater located in Billville, Indiana. The net control operator for this evening is N9VAM. It's November 9, Victor Alpha Mike, and my name is Marion. This is a directed net whose primary focus is training radio operators in the skills of net discipline, traffic, standard net protocols, and net control operations. The secondary focus of this net is to provide a forum for the exchange of information of general amateur interest. All licensed amateurs are encouraged to participate. Please check in with your call sign phonetically, your name, and whether your station is base, mobile, or portable. Please say if you have any announcements, traffic, or bulletins at the time of your check-in. If I should need a relay, I will ask for one. If this repeater should happen to fail, we will resume the net on the 145.360 megahertz repeater located in Danville, Indiana. Is there a station willing to serve as alternate or backup net controller for this evening's net? Please call N9VAM Net Control.
Net Control, KC9 SUD, Kilo Charlie 9, Sierra Quebec Delta, Handle is 10, Kilo Echo November. I'm in Plainfield on a base with no traffic, and I'll be your backup.
Thank you, KC9 SUD Ken, for being my backup this evening.
One county manages traffic by having folks call in with their call signs parsed by alphabetical order of the call sign suffix.
The net will now accept check-ins starting with the first letter of your call sign suffix, stations Alpha through Golf. Please call N9VAM Net Control. Net Control, this is Whiskey Bravo 9, Delta Papa November, Rick in Avon. I am base with no traffic. N9VAM, this is Alpha 9, Echo Golf, AA9EG, name is Bill, I'm base, no traffic.
Net Control, Whiskey Alpha 9, Bravo Delta, Brad in Avon, no traffic.
Okay, we'll stop here for a minute. WB9DPN, Rick, thank you for checking in. AA9EG, Bill, thank you for checking in. And I have Brad, I did not get your call sign. Would you repeat it, please?
Now, another county just calls out to operators that happen to check in the previous week. Then after that, they take in any available station calls.
Kilo 8, Victor Golf Lima. Kilo Charlie 9, Whiskey Bravo Lima.
Good evening, Norm. Everybody on the net. KC9WBL, Marty in Mooresville. No traffic.
Good evening, Marty. Marty, thank you for checking in tonight. Whiskey 9, Whiskey Echo Papa.
Good evening, Norm. W9, WEP, Phil, no traffic.
Good evening, Phil. Thank you for checking in tonight. Kilo Charlie 9, Whiskey Hotel Romeo.
Good evening, Net. This is KC9, Whiskey Hotel Romeo, Desmond, Bridgeport, no traffic.
Good evening, Desmond. Thank you for checking in tonight. Kilo Charlie 9, Zulu Bravo Oscar.
Good evening, Norm, and everyone on the net. Kilo Charlie 9, Zulu Bravo Oscar. This is Kimmer in Irvington, no traffic.
Now, ham radio offers a way for those who care about self-reliance to improve their skill sets. Now, skills require practice, plain and simple. An emergency is not the time to find out how well your radio communications work. A ham license has 3 levels of certifications, so many folks are happy with just the technician class rating, which is all that is needed for 2-meter repeater use and the ARES net service if desired. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and please share. Thank you.